I took this photo of some wind turbines in Kansas when I recently went on a drive from Oklahoma to Nebraska, and as I often do when I'm driving by myself on these trips, I took the back roads, in this case Highway 15, which has become one of my favorite roads to drive when I have to go through Kansas. It's a huge departure from the high traffic, bad scenery of the interstate, and it's just one of these cool back roads, like 2-lane divided highways. It's really fun to travel on. I came across this field of wind turbines, and I had my D500 and 200 millimeter lens with me, and I got out of the car because I wanted to capture kind of like a scene that I'd been thinking about for a while, and this seemed like a good place to try it. I don't know if it worked or not, but I think this turned out okay. What I want to do is try and capture the grandeur of these types of scenes in the form of a digital picture. And what I did here is I framed this scene intentionally in such a way that the hay bales were in front. So there's like 4 layers kind of to this. In the foreground, you have these hay bales, and those help establish a sense of scale and context for this photo. Most of us know how big a hay bale is, and so when we see these hay bales up front, it kind of helps us understand the size of what we're looking at here. And then way in the distance, you see these trees, and we all understand how big trees are. And then towering over these trees is this massive wind turbine. And then behind that, you see all of these other turbines, dozens of these turbines receding slowly into the distance. And behind those, you have obviously the blue sky and the clouds. And so my goal here was to kind of illustrate just how big this scene really is in one picture. And the depth of field works to our advantage too, or to my advantage, because the foreground is slightly blurry because it's shot at f2.8, and the subject, the main wind turbine, is in focus, but the foreground is not. And so all of these sort of come together to help the viewer understand that this is a massive, massive operation here, and one that it continues to be difficult to capture in just a single image. But I think this is one of the better ones of these that I've done. I'm happy with how it turned out, and I think this only could have happened at certain times of the year, because you don't get these hay bales just at any time of year. It happens in the fall when farmers are grading these hay bales. So I was fortunate enough to be able to take this photo, and if you've never been to the Midwest or any part of the country to see a scene like this, hope you have the chance someday. It's pretty awesome.